User joined your channel. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel. Channel switched. You were moved. User left your channel.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first race of the season for the Integrity Racing League, broadcast here from Daytona International Speedway. I'll be one half of your broadcast duo up here in the booth. My name is Trevor Cameron, and alongside me I have Mr. Chad Dalton.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Cameron. Good to be here tonight, ready to get the Integrity Truck Series kicked off here at Daytona International Speedway. We've got a pretty big field here and a lot of great competition.
Yeah, the field's just taking just gridding up here behind the pace car and pit road here, just about to head out on the track for their pace lap. So we'll have a little bit of time to kind of get everybody up to speed on what's going on here. First of all, this is like I mentioned earlier, this is Integrity Racing League. This is a fixed truck series racing every Saturday night, and of course they're starting their season as a lot of leagues are this year here at Daytona International Speedway with some super speedway racing.
Always one of my favorite styles of racing here on the high banks of Daytona. Looking forward to this evening. We've got several EOLs that are be given out, which for those of you that don't know stands for end of the line penalties. Not sure if we'll be able to cover all of them, but we know that I'm not quite sure how many we have here. Let's see if we can figure out how many we got.
Yeah, taking a look down the list, looks like we have Matt Busa, Wilkie Fowler, Alan Rowell, Christian Pittman, Corey Huntley, Nick Zotner, and I think that's about it. Those are for various, and Brad Patton as well. That I believe was for some various rule infractions. So they have to start at the end of the tail end of the longest line, which of course in this case is the end of the field. But at a race at Daytona, I don't know if that's necessarily a hugely bad thing. A lot of people like to kind of pace it out at the beginning where it's safe in the back, hopefully.
That means that the number 7 truck, the Cooper Standard Chevrolet of Brendan Kohler, will assume pole position here as we are going through turns 3 and 4. We're going to come around here. This race is 85 laps, a long ways to go. Not quite as long as the race we broadcast last night there, Trevor, but this one's still a long time. A lot of patience needs to be shown by these drivers here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the name of the game really when it comes to this style of racing is patience. The field's starting to form up here with all those EOLs getting themselves squared away.
Ford Mustang pace car turns that hard left turn, and the green flag is out, and we're racing in the Integrity Racing Series here at Daytona. And as the field comes down and complete lap 1, the 47 of Brian Day will lead the first lap. Here, pretty good, clean start. Everybody staying about 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through the pack. Very clean start here, Trevor, and that's what these guys need.
Yeah, absolutely good to see them get off to a good start. I mean, nobody wants to see the race the race ruined in the first lap there, but it looks like everybody minded their P's and Q's and stuck to their lanes, and nobody did anything crazy. So we have all trucks still going strong here.
And it looks like the 13 here of Matthew Wright and the 96 of Dalton England making a little bit of a challenge on the outside right now. Joe Slamma tucked in on the back bumper of the 47 of Brian Day. everybody's still pretty much 2x2 all the way through the field here. Very clean start, like we were talking about here, Trevor. Looks like I got about 2 packs here. Some trucks have fallen back just a little bit there, but everyone minding their P's and Q's, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of scraping metal back there. I'm not sure if somebody got against the wall a little bit back there, but I don't see anybody in trouble.
Yeah, everyone looks pretty good from what I can tell. Somebody might have just skipped off the wall there a little bit, but everybody looks clean from what I can see.
And we're seeing what we've seen in a lot of the races here is that outside lane just doesn't seem to be able to get that push. Although they get a bit of a run here, as you can see right now, they're making a run on that outside, but they haven't been able to make it stick yet. But we'll see if they can make that outside lane work right now, because he's ahead by a little bit right now, but I don't think he's going to be able to clear him, and his partner certainly won't be able to.
Yeah, pretty much a dead heat. Looks like he might be clearing him. He's definitely going to lead this lap, so give Matthew Wright the lap lead on that one right there. And he jumps down in front, so Matthew Wright clears the number 47 truck there.
Yeah, it's the first time we've actually, I mean, we're early in the race, but the first time we've actually seen anybody use that outside lane to actually make the pass. However, he had to abandon his partner in order to make it, so we'll see if that comes back to bite him later on when he's looking for a friend.
We get a little bit of 3 wide back here for about 5th place. It looks like the 8 truck of Anthony Ankello is stuck in the middle. Oh, now he gets down to the bottom there. Everybody kind of straightens out there. First, looks like 8 trucks are single file right now. Or 6 trucks, beg your pardon.
Yeah, that was probably a little bit of a pucker moment there for Mr. Yankello there, although as soon as he got to the inside, he saw a gap and jumped right back to the outside, and looks like he has the 7 truck out there trying to help him there and see if they can push their way up to the front.
Yeah, we're going to come around here to start lap number 7. Remember, this is an 85 lap race, so still plenty of time for the people in the back to make a move to the front. But those, I guarantee at least half of those people in the back right now are just kind of waiting around, biding their own time, and eventually we'll see them up front challenging for the lead. As we got a little bit of a battle for the lead here. Yankello's pushed the 7 almost alongside the 13.
Yeah, in that 7 truck is Brendan Kohler, and it looks like, it's close, but I don't know if he's going to clear him. Let's see if he can get a little bit of a run here coming through the corner.
Well, a little bit of a bobble there from the 13, but pretty much a dead heat. Looks like I'd say almost about the first 20 trucks are pretty much 2x2 right now, so some great racing going on in the early stages.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing here, Chad, is the fact that you see, as the 7 truck, jumps out in front and assumes the lead, abandoning Yankello, but he's got some help behind him, so I don't think he minds too much, because now he's in the lead of that pack and he's not having to stare at the spoiler of another truck there and see if he can push himself out to the lead. But one thing I was mentioning there is, Chad, is the fact that you can see these trucks, I mean, as stable as they are and as good of a job as they're doing is staying off each other here, they're dancing around an awful lot, so it's just going to take somebody dancing one way while somebody on the other lane dances in the opposite direction to cause some problems. It actually always amazes me how chaotic this can actually appear, where you see these trucks and for the most part they're in a straight line, but if you actually watch carefully, they are just going a couple feet this way, a couple feet that way, and it amazes me how they keep off each other for so long. I mean, we're in on lap 9 right here, and we have had a clean race. So somebody down on the apron there as they come back on the track.
7, there's a big crash here. We got several trucks involved. At least 6 trucks. Caution is definitely out on the speedway here.
Yeah, and that's just what I was saying about, you know, all it took was one person making a little bit of a mistake to get out on the apron, and once you get in that apron, it gets that truck so loose that once he came back on the track, he had no control to keep it out from going way out in that outside line and causing that big crash.
And we're checking out the replay here. Going to see if we can see what happens as they go down into turn number 3. Looks like that was mostly a chain reaction to the 57 truck. The 30 truck kind of checked up there and got hit from behind, and then everyone just kind of piled into the wall after that, from what I can see.
Yeah, and actually, ironically, it looks like the 57 truck is the truck that escaped that practically unscathed. He got a little bit of damage in the back bumper, but compared to everything behind him, he actually escaped after being the cause of it.
Yeah, by my count, it looks like the 5 truck gets a little bit of damage. The 30 truck has some damage. The 6 truck was involved. The 32 truck and the 18. It doesn't look like anybody got severe damage, but they definitely got some damage. And I do believe that these drivers all get a reset tonight, so shouldn't be too big of a deal for some of these drivers that were involved in that.
Yeah, as long as they can get that truck back to pit road, they can get a truck. I believe if they take a tow, then that's going to cause them a lap, I think.
But when that caution came out, the number 7 truck of Brendan Kohler was definitely in the lead. Anthony Yankello in the number 8 truck is currently second. I don't think we had any takers on pit road of the leaders. Obviously, some of the trucks involved in that crash are going to come down pit road, but I didn't see anybody else pit unless I missed something.
No, the leaders did come down, but we have looks like 4 trucks came down pit road towards the tail end, but I believe those were all trucks that were involved in that accident to get the repairs done. All right, Chad. Well, we're going through the pace laps here, which obviously take a little bit of time. Just do a little bit of background on the Integrity Racing League here, just to get the folks up to speed as to what we're seeing here. Like I mentioned, they run fixed trucks on Saturday nights. Races starting at 9:30 Eastern Time, but you probably know that already because you're watching. Unless, of course, you're watching this on archive, in which case you have no idea when it happens. So I guess that is useful information. Like we said, we actually have one reset in this race here, so if they get a little bit too banged up, that's not the end of the evening. A couple of guys to watch for in this race here. We've got Matt Busa, or Busa. I'm not sure. How would you say that, Chad? Is that a Busa or a Busa?
I would go for Busa, but what do I know?
In the 34 truck. He was the champion from their last season. Jacob Fife was in the 63 truck, was the runner-up last season for their championship. Both Matt, actually a couple of Matts, Matt Busa and Matt Wright, won 4 races last season, which was the most of any driver in the league. So find victory lane, those two guys.
Yeah, and I'm just looking here at my notes for the race, and they had a 24 race schedule last season, and they had 13 different winners in those 24 races, so that's a pretty good number there.
Yeah, it's always good to be in a league where it's not always the same guys winning each week. I mean, like you said, they had two guys who won 4 races each, but with 13 different winners, that's pretty impressive over a 24 race schedule.
Well, the field is working their way through turns 3 and 4 here. The lights are off the top of the Ford Mustang first pace car. So it's going to be taking a hard left-hand turn down here. We're going to go racing once again. We're working lap 12 right now. We're going to come start lap 13 here when they cross the line. Brendan Kohler is currently the leader with Anthony Ankello to his outside. Pace car is in, and we are green again.
Green flag, green flag.
Looks like that 7 truck has got out to a nice start here. Has the 13 tucked in behind him. The 96 is also dove to the inside lane to kind of make that a bit of a pack there, leaving Anthony just kind of hung out to dry on that outside lane with no help.
Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting restart. It kind of separated. We basically now have 3 packs. Looks like some people were a little bit of asleep there on that restart, as everyone's really separated about the whole length of the back straighter right now as they head off into turn number 3 with the 7 truck out front.
Yeah, it's actually quite a separation, Chad. Like I said, looks like there's kind of one main pack there, step pack about the same size, and it looks like there's 3 trucks behind them a little bit separate, and then the rest in a big pack at the rear there. So. Another thing here that I did mention was the fact that they have a 4 pit stop limit in this league as well, and that probably won't play into the cards here at Daytona because of the fuel window. This is probably a 2 pit stop race at most, and tires really aren't that important, so I don't see anybody making any extra pit stops here tonight. Ooh, looks like this truck got a little bit squirrely there, but he gets back in line without any damage done. Everybody else is single file behind him there, although Anthony looks like he's looking on the outside. Oh, and gets abandoned by the guy who looks like he was going to try to make a run with him. Decided better and dove back to the inside.
Yeah, Anthony's been trying to make that outside work, and he started making it work before that first caution there, but right now no one seems to really be sticking with him, and that's going to hurt him. He's going to start losing some positions here on that outside lane all by his lonesome. Oh, now we got a couple trucks that jump to the outside.
Eventually, if he kept trying that lane, then eventually someone's going to work with him, and ironically Anthony's actually dove back down the inside.
Yeah, the 96 and the 16 are trying to hook up outside to get a run there on our leaders. They're kind of making a little bit of a headway there.
Well, that 96 truck is Dalton England, who's leading the way on that outside lane, but with it only 3 trucks deep, I don't see it being able to compete with this single line as long as these guys stay in line. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as the 13 truck steps in front of that inside lane, or that outside lane, to try to push his way up to the lead. And just in the space of 1 corner, we went from everybody going single line to minding their business there to we're basically 2 by 2 all the way through that front pack now.
And Matthew Wright beat Brendan to the line there, so he will lead that lap in the number 13 machine on the outside. And this pack is, like you said, we formed back out into 2 by 2 by 2 here, and we've got 2 trucks. The number 34 machine of Matt Busa, and it looks like Patrick Wright is working with him in the 25 truck. They are probably about a little over half a second behind this pack, so they should be able to catch them here very shortly. And it looks like the 96 going to the outside for the lead.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the 96 went to the outside to try to get the lead, or if he was kind of going the inside, realized the hole was probably just barely big enough, and thought maybe he needed to get out of the way before he caused something to go on. So I didn't think he was going to fit.
Oh, and it looks like we're going 3 wide now with him with the 96 on the outside. And this is going to be a little bit interesting.
Yeah, and that's not going to work out too well for that 96 truck. I don't think he's going to fall back as he does, but he does manage to slip back in line, so that's lucky for him, or else he probably would have been at the back of this pack.
And as I mentioned before, the 25 and the 34 have now caught the tail end of this pack going into turn 3 here. So now this is a little bit bigger of a pack. We have, I think, about 2 main packs right now. We have this one, and then looks like about maybe 3 seconds behind we have another huge pack.
Now, this lead pack is 13 trucks deep by the looks of it. And it looks like there's 11 trucks in that second pack, and they are getting through wide right now. And a couple guys scraping off the wall, but everybody keeps her going straight. I mean, they're only about 3 seconds back from that lead pack, Chad, and I would think that it would be better for them to stay as straight in line as they could, so they catch up to that pack and just kind of join that and have a better chance of competing for the lead rather than competing for position right now.
Yeah, from the looks of it, these boys came to race tonight, so oh, the 41 just a little bit. Oh, we got a wreck in the front, the 47 and the 41. It looks like the 2 truck. This is going to take out several trucks here in the lead group.
Flag is out.
Ooh, looks like about half of that front pack has just been wiped out.
Oh, and here comes the next pack. Oh, we got a couple more trucks involved. This is what I was afraid of, that second pack was going to come up there. We got at least 7 or 8 cars probably involved in this here as we check out the replay here on LSR TV. It looks like the 47 just maybe got a little bit loose and came right down on top of the 41, and it was just on from there.
Yeah, I was in the aftermath of that with that second pack there. I mean, I saw at least half a dozen trucks stopped, just looked like a parking lot back there. So there is some heavy damage on a lot of those trucks. Looking at the 2-car of Steve Chester, and that truck is smoking bad, and looks like every corner is bent in.
Now I want to give a shout out. I just noticed this here and watching the replay to the 8 truck of Anthony Ankello. He was right behind the initial start of this wreck, and he did a fantastic job of slowing down and had to go all the way to almost the inside wall down the back straightaway, but he managed to miss everything and brought that number 8 truck out nice and clean here. Yeah, so we're working our second caution of the night here at Daytona International Speedway. And right now, Matthew Wright, the number 13 machine, is leading the way. So we work lap number 21. I'm thinking pit road should be pretty busy here, Trevor.
Yeah, we're about 21 laps in, and like you said, I mean, I can't see anybody actually not coming in. I believe the pit window for these trucks is in the 40 to 45 range, so we're about halfway through a fuel run, aren't we?
Yeah, it looks like we only have 1 taker. A few people played a little bit of a fake there, but the only truck on pit road right now is the 66, and he's got a few more of the trucks in the back of the field that look like they have some damage joining him.
Actually, I find that surprising, Chad.
Yeah, I think I do too. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but hey, these guys are the drivers. They're getting information from their crew chief there, so maybe they know something we don't know.
I just want to mention something else here, Chad, as we're working this caution here. Like, I'm looking back at my display here on a replay of that wreck, and I can't fathom how that second pack got involved in that accident, because I mean, they had a large amount of time to check up and make sure that they got slowed down to not become part of that. But several of those trucks, as you mentioned, got caught up in that accident as well.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, like you said, they had a lot of time to get slowed down there, and we have some pretty heavy-duty brakes on these trucks, so it's not that difficult to get these things slowed down. But not sure what was going on there. But unfortunately, some guys piled into the crash, and now they're on pit road trying to get some repairs made to their machine.
Yeah, actually, I'm wondering if it might have been a factor of the guys in front of that pack were probably afraid to check up too fast for fear of getting run over, because I mean they were running so close nose to tail like we were mentioning. So I'm wondering if it was just a matter of chicken almost, where the guys were just afraid to slow down a little bit and didn't slow down enough in the end.
Yeah, I'm noticing coming off of pit road right now, the number 18 truck of Brad Patton, he was on pit road trying to get some of that damage fixed, but he's now rejoined the track, and he is really tore up. That truck is crab crawling. I mean, and he's got a lot of damage to that truck. He's gonna have to come back down pit road here and try to keep those hammers beating on this thing.
Well, personally, I prefer to think of him as crab rocking, because I'd imagine him out there with a set of drums and beating on that truck. So I've never seen a crab rock before, but I imagine that'd be quite a fantastical sight.
Yeah, just ignore me.
Just updating a little bit here. Looks like based on that accident, while we still do have some trucks that are heavily damaged and whatnot, looks like only the two truck of Steve Chester is actually retired and taking this truck back to the garage. And based on the damage that was on that truck, I'm not surprised. I don't think there was anything they could do with that guy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see him out of the race this early. Again, we're only on lap 23, but sometimes that's the way it goes out here in the racing world.
Yeah, Steve actually qualified in 14th, so about a little bit better than mid-pack. So he probably had a pretty strong truck out there, but that's unfortunate to see him ended before halfway.
One of the trucks that I've noticed that's kind of creeped into the picture here, Trevor, is Michael in the number 88 machine. He started ninth. He's kind of quietly made his way up here to the third position.
Yeah, that's a good catch there, Chad. Although, I mean, from my experience with super speedway racing, I think you can attest to this. I don't think anything ever happens quietly around here. He may sneak up on us for not realizing where he's coming up to position there, but I tell you, nothing happens quietly in Daytona. Everything is at 110 decibels and scraping metal and cursing drivers, I think.
And all at about 202 miles an hour, running 2 and 3 wide.
We love it so much.
That we do. The pace lights are on top the pace car again. Everybody's going to double file up. Again, Matthew Wright is the leader, and Brendan Kohler is on his outside, the number 7 machine. Matthew Wright, from my count, has led the most laps in tonight's race at 11 thus far, but again, we're still very early on in tonight's event.
So far, the ticker is showing still 31 cars showing on the lead lap.
I'll also give a shout out to the main sponsor for this season here at the Integrity Racing League. Pro Powder and Paint Inc. has come on board. You can check them out. They can accommodate any type of painting or powder coating, from wheel rims to full racing chassis and everything in between. Give them a check out at propowderandpaint.com.
Hey Chad, just as we're getting ready to go green here, I noticed the 18 truck has caught up to the end of the field, but he is still, as you would put it, crab rocking pretty bad. So I can't imagine he's going to stay out there on that track, because he's not going to be able to make any sort of speed with that truck in that condition.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too, because he was actually fastest in practice on the speed charts here. So not sure if they're going to be able to get that fixed completely to where he can be competitive again. But that truck is definitely not working right now. But pace car pulls off here, and the 13 truck is green again, and here we go.
Oh, nice clean start. The first 3 trucks have broken away in our single file, so that's always a breath of relief as you get started, that you can actually get lined up at the beginning there. And now we're actually nose to tail for the first looks like 7 trucks, 8 trucks actually.
But once again, here comes Anthony Ankello working on that outside back there, and he's got some help this time with him. He's got the 00 of Nick Zonter, who I was actually going to mention earlier in the race that Nick had actually completely lost the draft before that first caution came out, and he was about 30 seconds behind everybody, but now he's up here, and he's battling for about 6th or 7th position now.
Yeah, I think as this race goes on, I think we're gonna have to watch that parade truck, because he's proven that no matter what's happening, he's always going to be looking for that opening and looking for that hole to go through. So I think at the end of the race, I think we're going to see Anthony make some moves.
And we got a battle for the lead. Here comes the number 88 truck on the outside of the 13, being pushed by Dalton England here in the number 96. They're pretty much a dead heat going down the back straightaway, and that is going to allow the 8 of Anthony, the 00 of Nick, to catch these front 4 here, and we're going to have a good battle for the lead as they come off turn number 4.
Yeah, I was actually just watching that, Chad. That's amazing, the closing rate that the 8 and the 00 had to catch up to that pack. Like, once those guys got side by side, like, the closing rate was just amazing that how quickly they got up to them there.
And Michael in the 88 takes the lead, so we got a new leader here. That will be, I think, about our 3rd or 4th lead change of the race.
But now as we saw, we had the 2-car tandems going, but they don't seem to be able to break away from the pack for too long, because all of a sudden now here comes the rest of the pack there. A little bit of 3 wide, but everybody seems to have gotten through that fine at the back of that lead pack. Again, we see 2 trucks making a break to get in front of the pack here, but as we've seen in the past, that doesn't seem to last very long, but we'll see if we can make it stick this time.
Yeah, I think from my experience with the truck here at Daytona in the draft, 2-car drafting, you can only pull out maybe at the farthest from the pack at about a second, and then the car pushing. In this case right now would be the 13 truck behind the 88. He's eventually going to get hot, and as you see now, he detaches from the 88. And so that will allow everyone to come soaring back up to the 2 liters bumpers now.
Yeah, so like you said, I mean, as we're seeing, you can make it work. Now as we see the 7 and the 00 Nick Zotner make a run on the outside, you can make it work for a short period of time before the pack catches up to you. So it's possible at the end of this race, and the winner of this race may end up being who makes that move at just the right moment, so they can hold that 2-car tandem together just long enough to make it to the stripe.
And we're about to get more company as I see the 39, the 31, and the 66, and the 57 coming back up through here have now rejoined, and this pack is getting much bigger now as they come off turn number 4. We've got another battle for the lead as the 7 truck is trying to come out here on the outside of the 88. But it looks like the 88 led that.
Ooh, that 7-car or truck. I'm going to say car for the entire season, just so you know. But the 7 truck looked like he came real close to that leader when he was making a move for that lead there.
And Nick Zonter looks like he's trying to make a move here on the outside. We're 3 wide here for 3rd right now with the 7 in the middle. I'm not sure. And the 96 spins. Here we go. Big crash. This is going to take out at least half the field here.
Oh, big accident. I saw the 8 truck was up on almost on his roof by the looks of it there.
Yeah, that took out a lot of good trucks there, but of course some of these guys will still have a reset so they can get back in it. But I'm seeing at least 6 trucks sitting over here in turn 3 and 4 right now.
Yeah, there had to have been some secondary accident there. Because some of those trucks were way back from that pack. Like I'm looking at the 51 truck in particular that was involved in that accident, and they were way back from that main pack. And then again, just did not get checked up in time, and he bumped into, looked like the 27 and pushed him into that wreck, and that caused the a even huger secondary accident, I think.
Yeah, it looks like this all started with the 25 and the 96. I'm not quite sure if it looks like the 25 kind of hit the 96 in the left rear. Not sure if the 96 got a little bit loose there, but that all started right there where we were talking about. They were 3 wide, and then it was pretty much just hang on for your life after that. Yeah, boy, the 8 truck was basically on top of the wall there for a minute, so he took a wild ride, Anthony Ankeller there.
The wonders of sim racing here. Instead of taking a trip to the infield care center, he's probably going to take down pit road, and if he hasn't used his reset, then he'll be in good shape.
Yeah, it does look like there was a secondary wreck like you were talking about. I'm thinking we had about 15 trucks involved in this one from just my quick count here. We got pit stops going on though now with our leaders. 88-13 and 16-7 and 00 all in here for at least fuel, maybe some tire changes. We'll have to see.
It looks like just about the entire field remaining pretty much is coming down pit road here.
And let's see. It looks like that was a close, but I'm thinking the 88 might have beaten the 13 off of pit road, but that was really close race off pit road there.
Just listening to the race chatter, looks like the 27 truck that I mentioned that had got pushed into that secondary wreck has just mentioned that his truck is done for the day, so we won't be seeing him back out on the track.
Yeah, it looks like also Brian Day has the number 47 is retired from the race as well.
And I'm also getting reports that the 39 truck of Chris Fowler is also taking his truck back to the garage, so he won't be finishing this race out either. Just to follow up on the 8 truck, which we saw go through quite a wild ride in that accident. He did have his reset left, so he does have a new truck, but I believe he had to take the tow because I don't think he could get it back to pit road, so he is now showing his 1 lap down.
And from the looks of it right now, the 51 of Ray Baggett has taken over the lead. I'm not quite sure if he looks like he did pit. But I can't quite tell that for sure.
Yeah, actually, Chad, I'm looking at my ticker here, which hasn't been necessarily the most reliable thing in the world, but I'm not showing that Ray is actually pitted. And looking at his truck, looks like he's got at least the front 2 fenders banged in pretty bad. So I wonder if he's staying out, because he's got to be close to his fuel window. So I wonder if he's staying out to get track position with the hope that there's going to be another caution quick.
And it looks like the 18 truck of Brad Patton, who has still got some serious damage to that truck, will be our lucky dog under this caution, or at least he's being waved around the pace car here by the race officials. but he still has a lot of damage to that truck, and he's going to need to somehow get that fixed soon.
I'm actually amazed he was able to pass by the entire field safely there with the truck handling as poorly as it seems to be.
Well, the pace lights are back off top the pace car. It looks like the 51 is going to be our race leader. He's going to choose the inside. It's Ray Baggett. On his outside is going to be Justin Kane. Michael in number 88 is going to be on the bottom. Matthew Wright in 13 on the outside as the field is going to double up here. And we're going to get set to go back green. We're working lap number 34 of 85 right now here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see this start here, Chad, because as I mentioned, that leader right there seems to have some reasonably significant damage on that truck, so it'll be interesting to see if he can actually get up to speed properly, and if he doesn't, then that could stall that inside lane out, and that could cause a little bit of an accordion effect. Another thing that I'm going to be following here is the fact that we have 3 trucks showing as 1 lap down. The 8 of Anthony Yankello, the 96 of Dalton England, and the 27 of Corey Huntley, but I'm pretty sure he's back in the garage. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a quick caution and Anthony can get back on the lead lap, because we know he had a strong truck and he was willing to make some good moves, and he's got the new truck now, so... Oh, in actual fact, I'm mistaken. The 27 truck, let me see. I'm not sure he was actually retired. I was just going on what he had mentioned in the over the radio, but no, I'm not seeing him on the track. So.
Well, we're about ready to turn him loose here again, Trevor. We have seen some good racing so far, and only have 3 cautions on the race, so not too bad here. That Ford Mustang pace car is going to turn hard left again, and the number 51 truck gets the green flag from the race officials, and we are racing again. A little bit of a slow start there, but pretty good clean start so far.
Well, actually, there was a bit of an accordion effect about halfway back in the field.
Oh, but we got a big crash here in the back of the field, actually, because of that accordion effect there, Trevor.
Yeah, I saw a couple trucks getting out of shape there, so I was kind of wondering if that was going to cause anything.
Yeah, it looks like the 26 is involved with Alan Roll, and I know there were several other trucks involved. It looks like Chip Berger was involved in the 31. Matt Busa in the number 34 was also involved. I'm not quite sure who else was involved yet here. We'll have to queue up a replay here. It looks like the 31 was also involved in this crash. And the 57 again, I think he was involved in a crash earlier. Anthony Yankello, though, looks like he drove through it.
I think he got a little bit of front end damage there, but he did avoid the majority of it. So I'm not sure how the ruling will go if he was if he'll get the lucky dog or not, because he was technically involved, but only a bare scraping. So I'm not sure how the race officials will see that. Although I think the 96 truck may have been ahead of him at the time of the caution, so...
Yeah, we'll have to see what race officials decide. That was definitely just one of those wrecks that looked like it got called up with the big checkup that you were referring to there, so it's just a shame to see that happen there. But it's hard to see when you're way back there in the field and the spotters don't have too much time to react. This stuff happens quick, so...
Yeah, and I was just taking a look back there. The 96 truck was very, very much involved in that accident. So So we'll wait and see what, like you were saying, what race control has to say about the Lucky Dog for this. But yeah, it was looking like you were saying with that check, and I wonder if that had to do with that the leader not getting quite up to speed, or if it was just a matter of a little bit of an accordion effect there with a little bit of start and go. I mean, I know I've experienced that on these super speedway races where it just kind of happens where you can't see anything going on, and all of a sudden you hit the gas when the flagman brings out the green flag, and all of a sudden not everybody goes as fast as you think they're going to go, so you slow up, and that just sails right back through the field. So as we continue to work this yellow flag here, Chad, looks like the 51 car is still leading when the came out. He did get a bit of a jump after that initial bit of a stutter start there, so he is still leading the way here. And I was gonna say then the pace lights are still on, so we're not getting ready to go green quite yet. Letting them sort the field out and clean off all the debris from that accident off the track.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking here, Trevor, that Ray in the number 51 truck is contending for Rookie of the Year here in 2013. So good start for him to the season, leading here at Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean that anytime you can lead up to Daytona is a good time.
It does look like that Anthony Ankello is going to get the lucky dog here, as race control seems to be waving him by to get his lap back here. Yeah,
I was wondering how race control would call that, but based on what I saw there, the fact that the 97 was, the 96 truck was very, very involved in that accident. I didn't think he was going to be eligible for the lucky dog. Although we know that Anthony's already used up his reset, and he did get a little bit of damage in that accident. Looking at his front bumper, it's a little bit crinkled up there, so it'll be interesting to see if that actually affects his aerodynamics, as we both know that this is a very aerodynamic dependent track, so it'll be interesting to see if he can get up to speed and make some moves like he was doing earlier on in the race.
It looks like the field is doubling up here again for the restart. Noticing we still got some trucks that are catching up to the field here, but they should be there in time, obviously, for the green flag.
Getting reports of a truck having some issues out there. Looks like it may be the 7 truck of Brendan Cowler. Yeah, as they were pacing there, looks like he had some sort of issue.
Yeah, he was in 5th there, Trevor, so very interesting to see what's going on here. We'll have to track this story and see if we can figure out what's going on. He's caught back up to the end of the field now.
Yeah, that 7 truck did make contact with the inside wall when he came down across the grass there, so he does have some damage from that.
Well, we are getting ready to go back green here. We're going to start lap number 40, which is getting close to about halfway here, and the Ford Mustang pace car is going to turn off. We're going to give our fans a little
green flag,
break it up here.
All right, we're back, and we got some 3-wide racing as we come back.
And that's Jacob Fife going up there through the middle in the number 36 truck.
The truck up scraping against the wall just to avoid that, and he's going to fall way back there.
Yeah, that was the number 43 at Ben Wessler there. Yeah, we got a new leader at the front of the field now, though, Trevor. And a big move to the outside. Ryan Manning in the number 37 truck takes the lead. And that'll be our 6th lead change of the night, I believe. Or 7th lead change, actually, beg your pardon.
Yeah, that 51 truck, although he does seem to be up to speed, he didn't hold on to the lead long during that restart there. He fell back pretty quick in that first lap, although he's still with that lead pack, so it doesn't look like that damage is affecting him too much.
Yeah, boy, Nick Zontner and Ryan Manning pulled out to a little over a half a second lead there, but now I do believe the field's going to start reeling them back in here. But that's a pretty powerful move they made there on the outside to grab the lead here at lap number 44.
Actually, and in the back of that pack there, I noticed the 31 truck of Jeff Barger. I think he just blew an engine. He looks like he's coasting without power right now.
And we got a change for the lead there, Trevor. Double zero had to make the switch, and but now the 13 looks like he's going to pass him on the bottom, and here comes Jacob 5 to give the 13 a push.
And just to follow up on that 31 truck, he has made it back to his pit stall, so we remain under green.
Oh boy! Well, that was a little bit scary there for Nick Zontner coming off the turn. He got a little bit loose, it looked like, with the 37 truck pushing him, but he did a great job of driving that thing, and everybody escapes. We're still 2 by 2 there in the lead pack.
Well, this is interesting here. That 18 truck, which we've seen has had some significant damage throughout the race and still is not tracking right, is right in front of the leaders right now. I know he's going to try to get out of the way here, but this could get interesting.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get down on the apron and get out of the way, which is a good, respectful move on his part.
With the truck handling that bad, though, all the respect in the world, didn't mean he was going to be able to hold it down there, though. But fortunately, he did a nice job of keeping that truck down on that apron and out of the race.
And Jacob 5 to the lead here, so we've got quite a few lead changes going on now. That's our 9th one. We've had a few here in the last few laps, and he's got some help here with Michael in the number 88.
It looks like we have those 2 trucks out in front and about a 13 truck pack behind them, which is probably just waiting to swallow them up as soon as they start overheating and have to do a switch or breathe the truck off a little bit. Even now, with them still actually mostly together, that pack is not far behind, so it is not going to take much for them to swallow them up. And here they go for the switch right now. As you can see, the rate of closure is just amazing once they have to do that. I mean, and we've seen this time and time again, Chad. I mean, people are getting ready to switch and see the confusion it's causing in that pack there. People are running over each other a little bit, and just because of that difference in speed as they try to stay ahead of the pack.
Yeah, 17 really had to back up there about the middle of that pack, but we're going to have another challenger here for the lead. This is going to be a pretty close battle for the lead, but it looks like the 88 is going to lead again.
Yeah, and a lot of that is patience from the other drivers. I mean, obviously it's skill on that 88 and that 36 truck, but a lot of that is also patience from the other guys because they had a run, and if they wanted to push the issue, then more aggressive drivers might have made that move, and then again, that might have taken out the field too. So, yeah, again, we've seen it time and time again. We've done a lot of super speedway racing here in the last week here, and we know that if you switch in front of the field, you are just asking for trouble.
Yeah, everyone has to do a lot of give and take anytime somebody switches out in front of the field, or crazy things can happen if everybody's not too careful here. I'm gotta say I'm pretty impressed with the 36 and the 88 here. They've been able to, both times that they've been pushing as they switch now entering turn 1 here, they've been able to pull out a pretty good distance. About right at a half second, maybe a little over a half second, but now that they've switched, the field's just going to come swarming right to their back bumper again.
Yeah, and their only hope right now is, to get together as quickly as possible and get back up to speed before they catch up to them. So, and looks like they've been reasonably successful in that this time around. And while everything is sort of, Daytona calm, I guess, it's a different type of calm than other racetracks. I just want to follow up on the 8 truck of Anthony Ankello there. He is, looks like he's working with the 41 of Joe Slama. He is, as you remember, was the lucky dog in that last caution. He's got back on the lead lap, but they are about 9.5 seconds back from the lead right now. So they're probably just trying to make some time here and try to catch back up to the pack, but on the lead lap, but certainly not in contention as at this point in time.
Well, the way that this pack is working up here at the front, that might be a pretty safe place to be, however.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with that sort of time, I would imagine they'd have plenty of time to roll up if anything goes horribly, horribly wrong. And I can't help but think, as the 36 and the 88 switch again, that this is just a storm brewing, as these guys are racing so close together with these dominant trucks out in front that eventually one of these switches is going to cause a bit of a smash up in that pack. But so far, so good.
Yeah, we got a new leader here, Patrick Wright, being pushed by Matthew Wright. The 25 truck takes the lead going into turn number 3. I just want to point out here, this first huge pack here that you can see on your screen, this is about 18 trucks, and they are all within 2 seconds of each other. So that's pretty tight racing for 18 trucks.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, for the most part, 2x2 here. And, you know, I mentioned it before at the beginning of the broadcast, but, I mean, if you watch those guys, I mean, those trucks are not racing a straight line. Those trucks are dancing around. So to keep it off each other, I mean, it is a delicate balancing act for sure.
Yeah, Patrick Light in the lead for the first time tonight. Nick Saunter back here a little bit here in the pack, going 3 wide in the middle. He's in what we like to refer to as the sucker hole out here. Get stuck in that middle there. It can be difficult to keep up with the 2 lines going on your outside. He gets back down to the inside. Now we got Michael coming here on the outside, and he's going to take back over the lead at the start-finish line.
Yeah, let's get back with racing here with these guys, exchanging the lead back and forth, and a lot of respectful driving as well. And that's what's keeping these guys actually, you know, on the track and in contention here is, like we were mentioning earlier, that give and take where these guys aren't pushing things too much. I mean, we've got, you know, over 30 laps left in this race, so there's no need to be pushing it too hard at this point in time. Just stay with that lead pack and stay in contention so you can make your move at the end.
And Trevor, that was our 13th lead change of the race, but something to keep in mind about that is only what we're seeing at the line. We've been changing the lead quite a lot throughout the rest of the racetrack, so not quite sure how many lead changes we have total, but definitely what's being scored at the line is 13 as the big pack comes here on a slower truck on the outside. That's actually the 7 truck. Remember, he had that issue under caution, and we still haven't quite figured out what was going on with him.
No, not sure what happened there, but like we said, he did get damaged, and because they were under pacing, and I believe they were double up that point in time, he didn't have a chance to go and get that truck looked at. So he's going to have to let it ride out till the pit stop or the caution happens up here.
Right now, Brendan in the 7 truck is being shown 2 laps down in 26th, but he did blend in pretty well with his big pack. Didn't seem to back up the outside line too badly. Oh boy, but he gets the 5 truck a little bit loose there entering the turn. Brendan did trying to push Justin in the number 5, and that was almost another disaster.
Oh, and the 5 truck is into the wall.
Oh, here we go.
And he's collecting a few trucks back there.
Yeah, looking on the replay here, looks like he just got a bad bump draft there from the 7. There's a little bit too much for him to handle, and it just hooked him straight into the outside wall there.
Yeah, also caught up in that accident. Like I said, there was a couple trucks that go and spin in there, but of note is the 34 truck of Matt Busa. That's the league's defending champion. Looks like he just went through the grass to avoid any contact, actually, and I'm looking back at it, so I think he'll be okay. Yeah, he just took the safe route and decided that a little bit of grass in the grill was a little bit better than a truck in the grill, so.
Yeah, I think I would rather, if I was in the driver's seat, I think I'd rather have a little bit of grass than a truck.
Yeah, I think that's a wise choice. You're going to get they don't model the overheating here. That would be a problem if it was an actual truck out there getting a little bit of grass there. But you did a good job actually, because he was at speed and he actually hit the grass. And as well as I do that once you hit that grass, it's almost kind of hold your hands up and hope for the best, because you don't have the best amount of traction and control down there. But he did a good job of actually keeping it going straight and off the wall.
And we're coming around here for some pit stops. Looks like we're going to have most of the field on pit road again. The 88 Michael and Jacob going to lead them down.
And I'd have to imagine at this point in time that everybody's in their fuel window. I don't think anybody can't make it from this point. So if you're pitting now, then you should have enough Sunoco race fuel in that truck to make it to the end of the race. I watch enough NASCAR on Fox that I had to say Sunoco race fuel at least once during this broadcast.
And it looks like Michael's going to win the race off of pit road. So looked like a fuel only. That was only a 2.5 second pit stop. So his crew going to work there to get him back out in what should be the lead, since I'm pretty sure everybody was on pit road that time by at least all the truck on the lead lap.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this shakes out, because unfortunately, my little guide here that's telling me how when people are pitting and stuff isn't cooperating quite so well. So if anybody had pitted a little bit earlier or whatnot, I'm not sure. But it's been long enough since the last caution, I think, that everybody would have had to top off to make it to the end of the race, I would imagine.
Yeah, according to my records on the pit stops, Trevor, just an interesting thing to note here. Now, we did mention earlier in the race that they do have a 4 pit stop limit. However, they can, if you have severe damage to your truck, you can come down pit road multiple times under caution and try to get that truck as repaired as possible. I'm actually noticing we've been mentioning that Brad Patton in the number 18 machine has been pretty severely damaged throughout the race. I'm showing he's actually pitted about 14 times in this race trying to get that truck fixed. And it's looking a lot better at this point.
Well, it certainly couldn't look any worse than it did. That truck was about as beat up and still running as I think you could you could have.
And it also looks like the 7 truck of Brendan Kohler is going to be our lucky dog for this caution.
Unfortunately, he's multiple laps down, so he's just going to be getting one of those laps back and won't be getting back on the lead lap, which is unfortunate for him. But any lap is a good lap, and you never know with cautions here. It could fall in quick succession, and he could end up getting back on the lead lap after all. And while we have a bit of a break here, Chad, we've been talking a lot about the super speedway racing and how it affects things that we're broadcasting here. We're going to actually be broadcasting 10 races throughout their season, the Integrity Racing League season, and I don't think we could go to two more polar opposite tracks, because next time we'll be on the air is on March the 16th, and that will be from Bristol Motor Speedway. So I don't think you can have two styles of racing any more different than going from Daytona to the the short track of Bristol.
Well, I can't wait to get to Bristol. That's my favorite racetrack. Love watching races there, and more importantly, love to even get out there and drive some. But it'll be a great broadcast the next time we're on the air.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very different toned, and I think we'll have a little bit less give and take, because there's just not enough room for give and take as there is on this big track here. Actually, Chad, while we have a little bit of a moment here, we have to keep talking here as while there isn't much action going on the track. I just want to give a shout out to where we're broadcasting from, and that's LSR TV. If you're watching this live, you probably already know that, but if you're watching on YouTube or an archive that someone's pointing you at, then you can check them out at greatsimracing.com, and they're providing all the camera work and doing a fantastic job, while me and you just get to sit up in the booth and talk our faces off while all the heavy lifting is done by LSR TV. So just want to give them a shout out, doing a great job with this broadcast.
Indeed, it's been a lot of fun doing the broadcast that we did last night, and then of course this one tonight here with Integrity Racing League. I've been enjoying chatting with some of the live viewers that we have right now on the chat over here on the broadcast page. It's been a great broadcast tonight, and look forward to more in the future.
So you're going to be our social media expert there, Mr. Chad, and connecting with the fans while I sit here and talk my face off, eh?
Hey, I'm a social media nut.
And I also had to at least say A in the conversation once to make sure that everybody knew that I was broadcasting from up here in Canada.
Well, it looks like the field is doubling back up here behind the Mustang pace car.
Yeah, and to reset the field here, we have the 88 car of Michael Duell on the point. He's taking the inside lane for this restart here. On his outside is the 25 truck of Patrick Wright. And actually in third position is a 13 truck of Matthew Wright, and fourth is Jacob Fife in the 36. I'm pretty sure that we saw Patrick and Matthew working together early on in this race, the 25 and the 13, and now they're not nose to tail, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get back together quickly, or if they just go with the partners that they're dealt.
And the pace car makes that hard left turn that we're so familiar with, and Michael is on it. Green flag is back out here at Daytona.
Looks like a nice clean restart here. First 4 trucks break away, and then it's side by side for the next 4 trucks. Although the fourth in line ducks out to lead that inside lane. I believe that's the 36 truck of Jacob Fife.
Well, that 13 truck there of Matthew Wright got a great restart. He's been tucked up on the bumper of Michael in the number 88 truck here, but looks like Jacob Fife and the number 37 Ryan Manning are making a little bit of a run there on the outside, as we're going to come and get 25 laps to go here in this race when they cross the stripe.
It looks like the top 11 trucks have broken away into their own pack, where then there's 4 trucks that are kind of single line behind them, and then the rest of the field sort of follows along in a huge pack behind that.
Yeah, Trevor, I was actually watching this pack back here. It's getting pretty busy back here between the 8 truck and the 17, and they were 3 wide there for a moment, but they seem to have kind of settled back down here and are working more organized manner, I guess.
Yeah, the 8 truck of Anthony Ankeller there is leading the group of that pack there, and as I mentioned earlier, he does have a bit of front-end damage from one of those accidents that he wasn't able to get fixed, but it doesn't seem to be affecting his speed. He's able to be pushed out, and it looks like that second, or that big pack in the back there is catching up to that four truck grouping that was behind the leaders, and they've swallowed them up.
Oh, we got a big crash. A big crash. Truck is tumbling down the back straightaway. Can't quite tell who it is. We got another truck spinning. The 16 is around. Boy, this is a big, big crash here going into turn number 3. I'm thinking that might have been the 34 truck that was tumbling over.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of trucks might have been involved in that. I'm just trying to take a look right now.
Yeah, it was Matt Busa here in the number 34 truck, Trevor. He came off of turn number 2. We're going to cue it up here on the LSR TV replay. And he was on the outside lane, and then just all of a sudden Uh, it looks like he got a bad push from Nick Zonter there. Another one of those two-car draft pushes that just kind of gets the truck a little bit sideways, and it knocked him down into the inside lane. And he was just kind of along for the ride after that. It knocked him into the 13 truck. Not quite sure if the 13 got some damage from that, but boy, the 34 went for a wild ride after that. He flipped over multiple times.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, the 16 truck also did go spinning off that. And I just want to mention something else here. I was actually, while that accident was happening, I had been focusing on that second pack that had gathered up there. And we'd mentioned earlier in the race, there's a few accidents that got bigger than they had to because the trailing pack wasn't able to check up in time. But they actually did a very, very good job of checking up in time, and none of those trucks were involved in that accident. So I believe they're learning that they need to push those brakes just a little bit harder. I think the 8 truck did just get into another truck there, but I don't think there's going to be too much damage there.
And I don't expect any takers here on pit road. We might see some of the folks in the back of the field right now, but I don't think any of our leaders will come down pit road. And I'm also, after that wild ride from our defending champion, Matt Busa, he has obviously retired from tonight's race.
Yeah, it looks like that truck is junk, and Matt's probably off licking his wounds from the trauma of tumbling down the backstretch at Daytona. Although I didn't see the 8 truck of Anthony Ankello, I didn't see him go down pit road, so I'm surprised. I think he probably got a little bit of damage, and he would have, with 20 laps left to go, I'm not surprised he didn't go down and at least get a little bit of the fenders banged back in, but I guess he's valuing track position overall right now.
Yeah, Trevor, we are working our 6th caution right here of the race. Yeah, pretty good race though so far, I gotta say, for the first race of a very long season. I think the season is about 36 races in length, so this is still a long ways to go. Some of these people that have dropped out here very early tonight in Daytona will certainly have a long way to go in the rest of the season to get back into the championship standings, but next week's race will actually take place in Phoenix, out in the desert. So that'll be hopefully a good race for these guys next week.
Yeah, like I said, a very, very long season for these guys, and they do round it up with a chase at the end of it. So they do, just like the big boys do, so to speak. So there's a long way to go. So Daytona sets the tone for the season, that's for sure. But it certainly isn't the end-all, be-all, and isn't going to be the end of the season for these guys. Like Matt Busa, the defending champion, is certainly not out of it by a long shot, but it's disappointing to start the season off in such poor fashion.
And to continue with the story that I've been interested all night long, the 18 of Brad Patton is pitting once again, trying to get some more repairs to that truck. He's had a very tough night, and I know that pit crew is bound to be tired with as many pit stops as they've had to make this evening.
Yeah, no kidding. Swinging those big maul hammers there, trying to get everything bent back into shape, and with the steering linkage, because it was crab walking so bad. Yeah, they're going to earn their pay, that's for sure. And Brad's probably just hanging out and hoping for a little bit of attrition. He's 6 laps down, so he's certainly not going to contend for the win. But that was obviously not going to be the case with the truck in that bad of shape. But sometimes you go out there for the win, and some nights you go out there in your points race and you get the best standings, best finish that you can, regardless of the circumstances. Just looking back in the back of the pack there, looks we just had a little bit of an incident there. Looked like the Taking a look at these trucks here. Looks like the 32, the 17, and the 57 just made contact under caution here. Looks like the 17 checked out for the 32, and the 57 nailed him pretty hard in the back, and looks like he's got some significant front end damage there.
Oh yeah, boy, that was definitely an interesting situation that just happened right there under caution here. Definitely never a good thing when you're beating and banging under a caution.
No, and I think I'm hearing from NASCAR control that that truck's been black flagged and told to bring it down for repairs. That 57 truck. So looks like he's going to have to get some repairs before they'll let him back out on the track.
Well, field is getting double back up here, Trevor, and we're going to be coming, when we come back around here to get the green flag, we're going to have 19 laps to go. We got 20 to go right now, and I'm thinking it's about go time here for the trucks who are about mid-pack or maybe towards the back there to get up to the leaders here and challenge for the win.
Yeah, and actually just to follow up on that story of the 57 of Thomas Conhetti, he's actually taken his truck back to the garage and retired from the race. So I guess the crew wasn't able to repair whatever damage he happened. That's unfortunate to have that sort of thing happen under caution, but it goes to prove that you have to pay attention 100% of the time. And even though you think you're safe under caution, stuff still happens, and your truck can still be damaged. Actually, just looking at the entry list right now, looks like we have 8 trucks retired from the race. The most recent, obviously, being the 57 truck. Just shortly ago, actually, the 41 truck of Joe Slama took his truck back to the garage, so he's retired for the evening as well. And I believe Joe was actually showing on the lead lap when he retired, so I'm not sure what happened with his truck, but he has called it a night and he's done.
Green flag.
And we are back under green here at Daytona. 19 laps to go. A great jump from the 36 and the 88. They really nailed that restart.
Yeah, the 36 and the 88, as we saw before, were working together earlier on in the race and doing a bang-up job of it. And they have gotten a huge jump on this field, and that field has spread out big time on this restart. So there's no real pack here right now. There's a few tandems and a little bit of single file there, but we have really broken up on this restart, more than I've seen on any other one so far. We just saw the 00 and the 37 truck. They were working together in tandem there, and it looked like they got a little bit hooked on each other's bumpers, but they managed to get separated without any further damage or sending anybody else into the wall, and they're hooked back up again. So good job by both those guys.
Oh boy, the 43 got loose there in turn 2. But yeah, Trevor, our first 10 trucks right now are all pretty much tandeming. A couple of them are separated just a little, but this has turned into a tandem race all of a sudden.
And with enough separation with this few tandems, and before you get back to the back of the pack there, this could actually work out for these guys as long as they manage to stay out of each other's way and don't get too racy. They could actually make this work and get a big jump on the field. Oh, we have a truck on the infield here. 81-37 trucks on the infield. We're still under green, though.
The 51 is also kind of spinning here, but it looks like he's saved it. Now the yellow flag has come out.
Let's take a look at the replay there, Chad, and see what happened.
Yeah, we got the replay queued. Oh, it just looks like the 81 was trying to push the 8 from my replay here. that I'm looking at, and kind of bobbed out of line, and I don't think the 51 really had anywhere to go, and just clipped him.
Yeah, as you recall, actually the 51 of Ray Baggett was actually leading earlier on in this race. Was a little bit further back in the pack, and that's the danger of being, in some of those bigger packs rather than being out front.
And that's about the third time that we've seen a crash kind of be triggered by a tandem draft here. It seems like the guys either getting the push all of a sudden, or that are trying to push get a little squirrely there, and kind of triggers a big crash.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know from my experience, and you can probably test this as well, Chad, is, it is so easy when you're pushing somebody. I mean, you can't see anything, and it just takes a little bit to get off that guy's bumper, and when you get back to it, sometimes you're not square, and sometimes you hook a corner panel, and then that sends it around, and instead of helping, you're sending somebody into a wall.
Yeah, that's for sure. Just want to, we're under caution here again, want to mention our the folks who have led some laps tonight. Michael in the number 88 truck has led the most laps tonight at 19. Matthew Wright in the 13 has led 15 laps. Jacob Fife, who is currently leading the race, in the number 36 truck, has led 12 laps. Brendan Kohler, who was up front earlier in the race, but has run into some issues and is now sitting back in 15th. He is on the lead lap, however, but he has led a total of 9 laps. Ray Baggett, who was just involved in that crash in the number 51, has led 8. Brian Day, who's retired from the race, led 3 laps earlier. Ryan Manning has led 2. And Patrick Wright in the number 25 truck has led 1 lap in this evening's race.
Yeah, that's a factor of Daytona racing, is the fact that you are going to have a lot of people who are going to get a chance out front. People get the ebb and flow of the draft and the tandem, and and the push at the right time. So you're going to see a lot of people, as we've seen, having a chance out front. The question is, who's going to make that last move at the right moment so that they can stay out front just long enough to hit that start-finish line. Also, sorry about that, Chad. Just going to say, also looking through the standings there, looks like we have 22 cars still on the lead lap, which is pretty impressive considering how late in the event we are right now.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen some great racing here. I mean, we're working our 7th caution right now, but it's been a relatively clean race. We've had several wrecks, but again, we have that one reset for several of these guys who've taken advantage of that, and we still have most of the field out here running. And as you know, with Daytona, any one of those 22 trucks could win. Some of the guys that are deep in that 22 truck field, they've got a lot of work cut out. They got to pass a lot of trucks, but they can still get up there and fight for the win here.
Yeah, absolutely, Chad. I mean, and we've seen it in races where a truck as far back as 11th, without a chance to win, going into the 4th corner there, all of a sudden you get a trigger wreck towards the front of the pack, and all of a sudden somebody who's running 11th, 12th, 13th and manages to escape the carnage can end up walking away with the victory. Actually, and just looking, follow up on my lead lap story there, looks like the 66 car, Brian Harvey, has just gotten the Lucky Dog wave around to make it 23 cars, trucks, on the lead lap here. So, so again, this is quite a field that's still in contention with, what do we got here, about 13 laps to go. Pace lights are still on the pace car, although I expect them to turn off as we hit the start-finish line here, and the pack will double up and get ready for what may be the last restart with this few laps left to go in this race. As long as we stay clean, we could have a nice little run to the finish here.
And just like you said, the pace lights are out. We're going to double up here.
As we get ready for this restart here, we have the 36 truck of Jacob Fife showing the way. Looks like he's going to take the inside for this restart. He's had a strong truck all evening here, and the 88 truck, Michael Duell, is going to be on his outside, and those two have been working really strong together here for a large portion of this race. So I would imagine that they probably have a strategy to get hooked back up together as quickly as they can once the pace car leaves the track here, so that they can see if they can get that big jump out. It looked like everything worked out pretty perfect for them there on that last little bit, where we had only a few tandems out in front of the race, and that's exactly what those guys wanted to see. But the caution erased all that, of course. So we'll see if they can pull it off again. Actually, just interesting looking at the 88 truck. He has the 00 Nick Zotner on his rear, and he's been a strong contender as well. So he's probably going to try to push that 88 up and not let these guys get hooked up, I'd imagine.
Yeah, the pace car is off, and we are green again. Pretty good start there for the 36 truck, and as anticipated, the 88 drops down right in behind him, so another great restart by those two.
Yeah, that takes a fair bit of coordination to make sure that you can pull that off in front of the field and not mess anybody up, so good job by those guys.
Getting a little dicey back there. The 96 went 3 wide up the middle, and they kind of settled back down there just a little bit.
Ooh, there's still 3 wide there with the 7 truck also sticking his nose in there. I'm not liking the looks of this as we enter into turn 3 here.
That's some tight racing there, but
he drifts up a bit. Yeah, drifts up a bit, and he found the hole on the inside. So some good driving by those guys. I was scared we were heading for
oh boy, someone got pushed down below the yellow line there. That looks like the 96.
Yeah, and they're 3 wide through that triola, which is never a good idea.
Oh, big crash. One truck hard into the wall. Looks like it was the number 7 truck from what I could tell. But that was a hard hit.
Well, that 7 truck is smoking now, so he's got some heavy damage.
Yeah, it looks like the 30 and the 26 and a couple of other trucks were involved in that crash. Right there, Trevor, and once again, I'm thinking this is going to be another bad bump draft gone wrong here. It looks like the 30 tried to push whoever was in front of them and had to check up. The 16 was all over the 30, and then that just turned the 30 straight into the wall there, and unfortunately the 7 truck had nowhere to go.
Oh yeah, looking back at that, looks like the 30 just got turned right on the front bumper of that 16 truck and sent both the 30 and the 7 hard into the wall, nose first. Wow, looks like that 7 truck almost ended up on its roof. Oh, and then the 26 truck piled into the 30 truck. Wow. Wow, actually looks like the 26 truck of Alan Roll got some substantial damages. He was a secondary victim of that accident as he piled into, didn't have a chance to slow up enough before he ran into that accident. Yeah, actually, I'm just going over the replay a few times here, there, Chad, just to kind of get an idea of what happened and who was involved. Oh, and I'm actually just watching the in-car replay from the 8 truck of Anthony Ankello, and looks like he sustained some heavy damage, and I think he has taken that truck back to the garage and is retired for the evening. That's unfortunate. He's had such an up and down night here, and kind of fought back from a few problems and whatnot. Unfortunately, it looks like he's going to end the night on the hauler.
Yeah, unfortunately we're going to have several trucks that had their night cut short there in tonight's running here at Daytona. First race though of 36, so they've got plenty of time to rebound there in the point standings and get some great finishes moving forward.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see where the points stand out or fall out once we get back to our next broadcast on March the 16th there from Bristol Motor Speedway, and see how the rest of the tracks have treated some of these drivers, and hopefully some of the drivers that had a bit of a rough start to the season have a chance to recover in the tracks between now and then, and we can report some good news for those guys, and before they of course go to Bristol and bash the living heck out of those trucks once again in a different circumstance.
And the lucky dog for this caution is going to be the number 62 truck of Keith Dunn. He is currently 4 laps down the race, and he'll move back up to 3 laps down, so won't really help him so far as being able to gain some positions unless a few more trucks here drop out, which we've obviously had a couple there. Alan Roll looks like he's just retired from the race, and as you mentioned earlier there, Trevor Anthony Yanko is retired from the race, so Keith will be able to pick up a couple spots there, but he's currently 24th, 3 laps down.
Yeah, as we got down to whatever it was, 12, 13 laps to go there, we had 23 cars in contention on the lead lap, and that has shrunk considerably here in the last little bit, and with some damaged trucks and some trucks falling out of the race. So Yeah, that's to be expected in this sort of race. We have 8 laps to go right now, still under caution. We're not doubled up yet, so we'll probably get the pace lights on the Ford Mustang pace car off on as we hit the stripe this time, and get ready to go. So we should have 6 laps to go to decide this thing.
The truck that I'm seeing here that's sitting in third right now is in the number 43 machine is Ben Whistler. He's kind of been up and down all throughout the race too, similar to the way Anthony was. Ben's been, I think, as low as about 17th or 18th on the track, and now he's sitting up there in third place as we come here to 7 laps to go. So he's in a good spot here as we should be getting the pace lights off of the pace car, like you said.
Yeah, field starts to double up here with a familiar duo of the 36 and the 88 taking the front row here as we get ready for the restart with 6 laps to go. We know these guys have proven time and time again here that they can find each other on the track, and I don't expect this to be any different. I know if I was the other trucks out there, in second and or in third and fourth position, I might try to find a way to stop that from happening because those guys are just so strong together.
Hey Trevor, now that I am sitting here looking at this, I also want to give a shout out to the 53 truck of James Hudson. I'm not quite sure if we mentioned James tonight on the broadcast, but he's sitting right there in 4th place right now. So he's also, just much like Ben, has put himself here in position for this sprint finish.
Yeah, another truck that actually stands to be mentioned, we have actually talked to him about him before, is the 96 truck of Dalton, England. He was a lap down earlier on the race and needed a lucky dog to get back on the lead lap, and he's showing in 11th position, so nice recovery by him. As we get ready for this restart here, Chad, I can't imagine that if there's another caution that flies, I don't know if they'll actually get back to green flag racing. So this restart is probably the last we're going to see. So this could decide the race right here.
Yeah, we're going to be coming here at 6 laps to go, like you say. That pace car is going to take our favorite hard left turn right there. And Jacob Fife jumps that start, and he will move up in front of the 88. And that's a pretty good restart for both those guys once again.
Yeah, it's so hard to stop those guys from getting hooked up together when they, when Jacob has a chance to control the restart. So he kind of controls the pace and allows the 88 to get back to his rear bumper so that they can make a run. But the 0-0, Dick Zotner is making a huge move on the inside.
Getting pushed by the 13 truck, and they just flew up through there, and they're going to take first and second going down the back straightaway.
Well, we're familiar with Nick Zotner, and I'm not surprised to find him be making some bold moves in the end of this race and making a fight out of this.
Five laps to go.
Looks like Jacob is making a move on the outside with his help with the 88 car there. Michael pushing him. Got a little bit off him there, so they lost a little bit of momentum. But one thing to mention, and as we talked about earlier, I mean, we've got 5 laps to go, 4.5 laps now, and these trucks cannot push for that long without overheating. So this will not be the end of it because these guys are going to have to make some moves before the end of this race.
Yeah, the 13's been pretty tucked up on the 00 right now, so he's going to be getting hot here in probably about another lap here. So he's going to have to be careful with his temps there. 4 laps to go here in Daytona.
Yeah, it looks like the 13 is going to try to push the 0-0 as far ahead of this group as he can, but I don't think he's going to be able to push him out far enough that they can make a difference. And they go to make that switch right now, I think, or at least he just slipped out from underneath him.
I think the 13 may have been trying to pass him there.
Oh,
And the 69.6, I reckon. But no caution yet from what I'm seeing. We might get a caution now, though.
yeah, the
Yes,
36,
there we go.
rolled back up on the track, so the officials had no choice.
And I'm not sure who was ahead at the time of the caution, but I'm thinking that, well, we'll have to see. It might be the 13.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the race officials call for the end of this race, because I'm pretty sure they will not get back to green under these conditions. So, unfortunately for it to end under yellow here, but we'll have to see who's actually won this thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking the 13 truck, Trevor, Matthew Wright's going to be your winner.
Well, that is heartbreaking for the 36 truck of Jacob Fife to end the race like that, because he had such a strong race, and to end up with a wrecked truck at the end of the race is just disheartening.
Yeah, but all those drivers there coming, that was on 4 to go, coming to 3 to go, they're all going hard, and they're trying to get everything they can possibly get, because they know that the checker flag's coming in a couple more laps. So that was some pretty good hard racing right there. It's a shame that, like you said, that the 36 ended up in the crash there.
Ooh, and looks like actually I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah, we're on 2 laps to go right now, and I don't believe we're going to be going back green. So if he can manage to not have any electrical failures or anything crazy happen, not to jinx him there, but looks like the number 13 truck of Matthew Wright is going to pick up the victory here in Daytona.
Yeah, and don't say it can't happen, because I mean I myself have been leading a race and had my my pedals unfortunately become unplugged from my wheel and lost all power to the vehicle while leading. So don't say that heartbreak won't happen, even though the race is pretty much decided at this point in time.
And you mentioned this earlier on the broadcast there, Trevor, but Matthew Wright actually tied Matt Busa last season for the most wins at 4. So he's already back in the winner's circle to begin the new season once again, provided he can finish up the last lap and a half here. But he's definitely kicking off 2013 with a bang.
Yeah, it's always special to win at Daytona. I mean, be it in obviously in real life, but even in the virtual world, this Daytona just holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts. It's a very different style of racing, but it's just a mecca of motorsports, and it's just a special place to be able to pull down a victory. So great job by Matthew Wright. Pace car leads him past the stripe one last time to take the white flag. So it looks like our finishing order will be the 13th car of Matthew Wright, assuming again not that nothing goes wrong, but 13 car Matthew Wright will win this race with the 00 of Nick Zotner in second place, and the 88 car of Michael Duell in third, with Ben Whistler in the 43 truck finishing in fourth position, and fifth the 53 of James Hudson, which you had mentioned earlier, has kind of had had a bit of a quiet night, and then all of a sudden showed up in contention.
And Jacob Fife, who was unfortunately involved in that crash, looks like he's going to finish around 18th. He will actually end up leading the most laps in the race at 22, but I know he's still going to probably be a little bit disappointed about that, because even though he led 22 laps, he didn't lead the last one, which is the most important one. But it's a shame that he will finish towards the back of the lead lap cars.
Yeah, actually, I'm just take the old binoculars out here and taking a look at that truck, and that truck is used up in that last accident. He probably had a bit of dents and scrapes throughout the race there, but looking at the rear end of that truck, it is they're gonna have a lot of work to do before they get that truck back out on the track for another race.
Well, here the field comes out of turn number 4, and Matthew Wright is going to officially see his favorite flag from the race official. Checker flag will come out, and that will lock up the victory for Mr. Matthew.
Yeah, actually, and that was another thing of making the right move at the right time, because you remember the 13 truck was pushing the 00 Nick Zotner and decided to jump out from behind him and make a move for that lead rather than pushing Nick out to the lead there. So that move right there is what won him the race.
And the 13 is burning it down here on the front straightaway. Always, adds a little bit of specialty to that burnout when you get to do it at Daytona.
Actually, taking a look at that truck, and a couple little bents and bruises there on the rear end there, but considering some of the other trucks in this race, a pretty clean looking truck actually. So, Chad, that will about do it for our first broadcast for the Integrity Racing League here at using the iRacing.com software and service here. You can check out Integrity Racing League at integrityracingleague.net for standings and information on all the drivers there. Once again, congratulations to the winner, the Matthew Wright in the 13 truck. Again, we ran down the Nick Zotner and Michael Dewell and Ben Whistler and James Hudson finishing out the top 5. In 6th position, I mentioned him earlier there, Dalton England and the 96 truck. He nice comeback from being a lap down earlier on in the event. The 6 truck of Christian Pittman finishes out in 7th. The 16 truck, again, a personal favorite of mine, Cody Keller, I believe that'd be how you pronounce his name, finished in 8th position. Bruce Koenig in the 69 truck in 9th position, and finishing out the top 10, the 32 truck of Jesse Robinson.
And Patrick Wright came home in position number 11. Charles Counts comes home in 12th. Ray Baggett, who was up towards the lead there for a little while earlier, comes home in 13th. Brian Harvey finishes in 14th. Jim Fife comes home in 15th position. Chris Freeman comes home in 16th. Justin Kane came home in 17th. And Jacob Fife, after that crash there on the last few laps there, will finish as the last truck on the lead lap in 18th position. And I think that's about going to wrap things up here for our first broadcast. As we've mentioned a few times before, our next one will be on March the 16th at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half mile. We'll see you then, folks.
Good night, everybody.